Hello, this is mpknife, and welcome back to part 19 of the 100-Line Last Defense Academy, and we're going to do something a little different. It's like late today, on Saturday, and I mean, if you're seeing this, it means it's going to go well, but what I was thinking is that we collect some of these endings. So, we're going to ignore this. We're gonna go back in time. You can see, look at all our team members and their deaths and whatnot. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us left at day 83. And we found one ending so far where we picked wrong. It was here on day 47. Now this might just be dead wrong, but my thought is to at least this one here. All of these endings are just gonna like these are wrong choices basically. I don't know about the Yugamu one, so I'm not gonna touch it. But everything from this point on, so that's like what? I don't know how many that is exactly. 1, 2, 3 endings? Okay. So, let's see what happens if we don't save Darmi on day 30. I'll reread everything for these two.
Hirako!
She was lying on the ground with blood pouring out of her back. This is a mortal wound. There's no way she can recover from this. The attacker, if I remember correctly, is the...
Squad 3 Commander!
What is a commander doing here? Why is Hirako lying in a pool of in her own blood? Was she defeated by that commander? Nothing was making sense. My mind was in a state of confusion.
How did this happen?
Our plan had been proceeding smoothly. We set off early, reached a part of town south of the school, and started doing battle. Using the flashiest skills we had in our arsenal, we hunted down every invader in the area. This was to draw the Flying Bee's attention to us. Some time after the battle began, Hiriko secretly left the area like she had planned in order to secure the spare suit. The bees were struggling to count the points Yugamu and I were racking up, and didn't seem to have noticed her sudden absence. Felt like the plan was actually going to work. All we had to do was to wait for Hiriko to return with the suit that would lead us to victory. But then something unexpected happened. I took my eyes off Darmi, who had been fighting with us for only a short while, and she vanished in that moment. She probably got overly excited and decided to expand her hunting territory. I panicked. Hiriko would be heartbroken if anything happened to Darmi. Ran around the vicinity in a desperate attempt to locate her, all the while imploring her in my heart to not do anything reckless that might end up making Hiriko sad. I was praying hard for her safety. And just as I'd finally caught sight of Darmi on the other side of some rubble, the unthinkable happened. I couldn't make head nor tail of the scene, no matter how long or hard I stared at it.
Why? Why? Why is this happening?
Get a hold of yourself, Takumi!
I snapped back to my senses at Yugamu's yelling. Yugamu! Hiriko's down, most likely by Commander. Yugamu's face twisted into a hateful scowl when he turned to look at the commander. That's why I didn't want Darmi to come along. She's too high profile in a lot of ways. You can't blame the enemy for zeroing in on such an attention-grabbing target on the battlefield. I'd wager the commander attacked Darmi first in this case. And when Hiriko tried to help her, the commander attacked Darmi as she was rampaging around. And when Hiriko tried to help, she got struck down instead. What do we do now? How can we save them both? Run away, that's what. The operation's failed. But we can't just abandon them. There's nothing we can do to turn the tide of this battle. Especially not against the commander. We need to survive so that we can carry on Hiruko's will. Yugamu's decision was sound. The best outcome we could hope for right now was to avoid all of us dying. But did I really want that? What was the point of surviving if I had to abandon a friend to do it? Abandon Hiruko and Darumi to escape and wait for another chance? Or jump in to save them without caring about the consequences? Alright, so we've already gone with saving her. Let's find out what happens if we don't save Darumi. Yugamu was right. If the anti-sponsor alliance got wiped out now, all hope would be lost. The best we could do is survive and carry on Hiruko's will. As I made to leave, my gaze fell on her, now on the verge of death.
I'm sorry I couldn't save you, Hiruko. But we'll definitely bring down the sponsor. I promise.
Yugamu and I turned around and started running as fast as we could. I'm sorry, Hiruko. I'm sorry. Mumbled words of apology over and over again under my breath as we dashed across the town ruins. We made it back to school by the skin of our teeth. Threw myself onto the bed once I was in my room, exhausted from the non-stop fighting since morning. But my heart couldn't rest. The weight of my regret grew heavier with each passing moment. Hiruko. Darumi! Could have saved them if I'd stepped in. I abandoned my allies to certain death. No. No, I didn't. I shook my head, yelling in an attempt to reject myself for proof. By the time I'd seen them, it was already too late. My decision to flee was to avert total annihilation. I'd made the right choice. I didn't abandon them to die. They were already beyond saving. Is that Yugamu? He might be here to talk about what to do next. Now that Hiruko's dead, we need to have a serious discussion about the future of the Anti-Sponsor Alliance. I opened the door to let Yugamu in, but somebody else was on the other side. Takamaru. Ima and Kako, too? What do you guys want? What do we want? Quit playing dumb, you freaking scumbag! Takamaru grabbed hold of me, an enraged look on his face. What's this about? Why are you so angry? Why wouldn't we be? Two of our friends just got killed. Two? You mean Hiruko and Darumi? We checked the rankings just now and saw they died all of a sudden. That didn't seem right, so we did some investigating of our own. And guess what? We received eyewitness reports that confirm you committed the crime, Mr. Sumino. What? Crime? Nozomi saw you leaving in a hurry with Hiruko and Darumi this morning. Two people you were hanging out with suddenly dropped dead. What do you think that means, genius? I'll tell you what it means. It means you killed them. I didn't. It wasn't me. We went out to hunt invaders together, but then the Squad 3 commander showed up, and then... I explained what had happened without going into too much detail. I told him about Hiruko, Darumi, Yugamu, and myself forming a team to carry out a certain operation. When the commander suddenly showed up, he killed Darumi and Hiruko. Yugamu and I had no choice but to escape. That's a lie if I've ever heard one. It makes a lot more sense to think you're the one who killed Miss Amamiya and Miss Shizuhara. Those two occupied the top positions in the rankings. You must have set them up so you could take their place. Who would kill another person for that? I get it. You don't trust me. But you can check with Yugamu, can't you? He can attest to the fact that I wasn't the one to kill them. I don't believe a single word that perverted clown says. Besides, you might just be colluding with each other. Therefore, I'm afraid we have found you guilty on the basis of a long string of circumstantial evidence. And now, you're under arrest. Enjoy your stay in the courtyard cage. Don't forget to make friends with Ava. No, stop! Let go. Let go of me. Calm down and stop resisting. They caught and restrained me before I could say anything more. I was thrown into one of the cages in the courtyard. I didn't kill them. You've got it all wrong. Let me out of here. No matter how hard I tried to protest, Takamaru refused to listen. I was left to languish in the cage. I stayed there day after day after day. Eventually, we reached the end of the first round. Since I couldn't take part in the hunt anymore, I'd fallen to last place, and the bees came for me. Okay. Well, good thing I didn't pick that. 91. Killing game round 1 loser. Okay. Okay, found an ending. Now let's go to the next one. All the way on day 58-6 if we decide not to kill Ava. I'm assuming was the right choice. Where are you, Nozomi? Ran around the base as fast as my legs could take me, trying to find her. I checked each and every area, until finally I found... Ava! Ava! Talk to me, Ava! I saw Nozomi trying to rouse a groggy-looking Ava in her arms. Ava was really here. Where am I? Thank goodness you're awake. Why am I here? I left your school and got captured on my way to the safe house. And then I wake up, and now Nozomi's here. Nozomi! That jolted Ava completely awake. She stared at her in astonishment. And Takumi as well. What are you two doing here? I should be asking you that. Why are you at an enemy outpost? Unfortunately, I was discovered and caught by soldiers. Since I was a traitor who could not even sacrifice her life for the cause, I was brought here and interrogated mercilessly. That's insane. How could they do that to you? We are in the middle of a war, and everyone's trying to get a leg up any way they can. But never mind me. What are you doing here? To find you, of course. Just being able to see you again has made my life worth living. Nozomi had clearly given up on her will to live. The non-stop killing had taken a toll on her. You came here to find me? By the way, Nozomi, there's an infirmary somewhere deep into space. Could you be a dear and fetch me some bandages and painkillers from there? My whole body aches. Of course, I'll be right back. Nozomi dashed out in a panic. Once she was out of sight, Ava turned to me and looked me dead in the eye. Now tell me why you're really here. Okay. I told Ava the gist of how we ended up here. How Nozomi was in last place in Invader Hunt. How we came here to pull her rank up. How we defeated the Squad 4 commander, Quenzel. And how Nozomi threw away the chance to deal the finishing blow. Takamaru's team has probably killed Quenzel by now. They have no reason to wait after all. This means Nozomi's position in last place is set in stone. Then Nozomi will... She'll be executed at midnight tomorrow. No. Is there no way to stop the execution? None at all. The sponsor's way too strong. And not just that. We don't know how many bodies they have at their disposal. Yugamu seemed to have an idea how to defeat the sponsor permanently, but he still needed time to get that plan ready. I'm not going to just let Nozomi die! How can she continue to think of others, even in the face of her own death? Sacrificing herself so that no one else has to get hurt. That's what love means to her. Her mother had demanded nothing but sacrifices from her. But despite all the sacrifices she made, Nozomi never received true love back from her mother. That poor girl. That poor, poor baby. Now she has to die because of her kind heart. Where's the fairness in that? Ava punched the ground again and again to vent her anger and frustration. It wasn't acceptable by any means. Neither the unjust death Nozomi was about to face, nor the adults who raised Nozomi to embrace that way of life. With tears in her eyes and breathing heavily, Ava tilted her head to look at the sky, almost as if she was praying to the heavens. While still in that position, her expression suddenly grew solemn, and then she thrust her fingers into her own 2 eyes. What are you doing, Ava? Stop it, you'll blind yourself! My cries fell on deaf ears. Ava's fingers dug even deeper into her eye sockets, until finally, she pulled her fingers out, along with something that looked like 2 small chips. Did I scare you? The best place to hide something is just beneath your eyeballs. No one would think to look there when doing a body search. What are these, chips? I entrust them to you. Decipher the red one once you return to school. Give the blue one to the one whom it is due. And who would that be? Next up. This time, Ava plunged her fingers into her mouth, reached deep into her throat, and pulled out... What's this now, a bead? This is a remote detonator. Press it to blow up the bomb. Inside my body. Huh? As I mentioned before, there's a bomb in my body, and the detonator is hidden in the little finger of my left hand. But I wouldn't be able to use that detonator if my hands and feet were restrained, right? So they hid another detonator in my stomach. She pushed the bead-sized switch into my hand and made me hold it. When Nozomi gets back, make her press the button, firmly and tightly. I'll minimize the explosion using my powers, so that you won't be hurt by the blast. What? Huh? I muttered incoherently, unable to understand what she was trying to tell me to do. If the bomb in her body went off, Ava would... But you'll die. Yes, I'm asking you to kill me. I'm one of the targets in this invader hunt, right? Killing me would surely move Nozomi out of last place. That might save her, yes, but what's the point if you end up dying? You'll never see Commune again if you're dead. I do so dearly wish I could see her again and hold her while we fell asleep just like we used to. But this is my unavoidable fate. How could I call myself a mother if I just sat back and watched my daughter die? It goes against my very being. I refuse to lose this warm and comfortable glow in my heart. Ava was smiling brightly as she said those words. I am Ava, the paragon of nature and champion of the masses. But this title has been too heavy for me to carry, for I've never been the military sort.
I am Ava, mother of 2 girls. Now that's a title that sits right with me. To earn my title as mother, there's something I must do. I must teach Nozomi the meaning of true love and the strength of a real parent who never sacrifices her children to benefit herself.
Ava, just then. Sorry I took so long. Nozomi came back with an armful of bandages and medicine bottles. Sorry, which one of these are painkillers? I couldn't read the label, so I brought everything. Ava glanced at me and gave me a small nod, trying to signal to me with her eyes to do it now. Nozomi would gain a ton of points if she killed Ava. But was this really the best choice? Would Nozomi ever be able to handle killing with her own hands someone she considered a mother figure? Was it even morally right for us to kill Ava, who has become our ally at this point? I decided I would. Alright. Let's see what happens if you do not kill Ava. Which I did not consider for even a second when I first... No. I can't do it. Can't kill you, Ava. You're not thinking clearly, Takumi. If you don't kill me now, Nozomi will die. But I just can't. You're basically an ally to us at this point. Listen to me. You need to do this for Nozomi. You must kill me. Press the button now. You two, what's this killing stuff all about? It's like this, Nozomi. I explained the situation. I told her how Ava was offering to die in order to save her. You can't be serious, Ava. I would never kill you to keep myself alive. Just being able to see you again was good enough for me. I'm ready to die now. Do not speak of death so easily. A kind-hearted child like you deserves to keep on living. I'll say it again. Kill me now, quick, before it's too late. Ava kept yelling at Nozomi to kill her, but Nozomi wouldn't give in. You have to do it. You have to kill me. Why won't you listen to me? Her loud shouts slowly softened into anguished cries.
Please, Nozomi! Please, kill me!
Her desperate pleading was suddenly interrupted by another voice. You want to die so much, Ava? You won't mind if I kill you myself, then.
What?
Takamaru. Didn't think Ava'd be here, too. We get to hunt 2 commanders at once. Lucky us. The Squad 4 commander's already dead. Killing Ava 2 will put us in a safe spot for a long time to come. Damn it, I forgot about them. I should have known these point grubbers might find Ava as well. Sorry, Takamaru, but if it's Ava you want, you'll have to get through me first. You bet. I've been wanting to get revenge for what you did anyway. You're not getting away this time, Ava. Takamaru, please. You can't kill Ava. She has a daughter. Do you really want to make that innocent girl an orphan? Nozomi made a last-ditch attempt to appeal to Takamaru's compassion, but to no avail.
Huh?
Come get some, Takumi!
Huh?
Gra! Yeah! Fierce fight against our allies broke out over Ava's fate. Takumi! Nozomi! Halfway through, Tsubasa and Yugamu spotted us and joined the battle, making it even more intense than before. Nozomi! When Nozomi got injured, Ava lost her cool and transformed, throwing everything into greater confusion. You dare hurt my daughter!
Duh?
You are no mother, just a freaky school invader! We kept fighting each other to the point that we became unable to clearly discern who was on whose side. Finally, in this enemy base far away from the academy, the Special Defense Unit was completely annihilated. Not by the enemy, but by each other. Okay. Battle for Ava's points. Okay. Finally, what happens if we do not take the sponsor's, like, bribe or whatever? As the clock ticked over into the new day, I stopped by the leisure lounge on my own to check the leaderboard. Tsubasa was still dead last. If we didn't find her some points by the end of day 78, then... But how? Trying to earn points has led to nothing but a wild goose chase. There are no invaders anywhere. We're not going to be able to beat Dalja. Darumi's knowledge was our last hope, but she said she had no idea where they'd gone, and that hunting hadn't been going well for her either. Apparently she'd been holding first place purely from the points she got from Hiriko. In the end, nobody had any idea where the invaders were now. Is it really just a matter of searching around? The unease was suffocating me. Would we manage to raise Tsubasa's ranking in these remaining 3 days? How? How do I protect the girl I love? Hello, Takumi! Is something bothering you? I turned around at the sudden sound to say, when did you get there? Don't glare at me like that! I just wanted to share something nice with you! Something nice? You desperately want to know where the invaders are, right? Do you know where they are? I sure do! My B Recon squad found where they've been hiding. If you're curious, I'm happy to tell you, and you alone, Takumi. Because you're my favorite! You're the sponsor of this game, right? Are you even allowed to play favorites? I don't see any rules saying the sponsor needs to remain impartial. They really know where the invaders are. Then I want to find out no matter what, but... Are you up to something? Of course I am! I'm always thinking horrible things! Okay, 1, how can you admit that so casually? 2, I don't want help from a freak like you. You're a clever boy, Takumi. You're right to think it sounds too good to be true. It's never a good idea to listen to the temptations of the devil. The devil's words will consume you like a drug. One taste and your life is ruined. And you're the devil here, so get the hell away from me. That was close. I almost considered their offer. Them, tell me where the invaders are? An obvious trap. But you know, Takumi, I think you're going to need to trust me. What are you even saying? I mean, if you can't get the location of the invaders out of me, our last place player Tsubasa is going to die. Oh, that's good. Nothing is better than seeing you look so desperate. I love humans trapped between a rock and a hard place. Corner a human and suddenly the voice of the devil starts to sound real nice. Shouldn't even bother with them. I knew that in my head, but I couldn't get myself to leave. If I don't find out where the invaders are, then Tsubasa... Try asking me nicely, Takumi. Ask me to tell you where they are. If you ask sincerely, I'll tell you about the best hunting spot out there. What do I do? Should I trust them just this once? It's obviously shady, but what choice do I have? No, it all sounds too easy to me. There's still a slim chance I could find them on my own. Yeah, I don't really feel like knowing where they are. I don't need your help. I'll find more school invaders myself. Stubborn little Takumi. You'd really rather see Tsubasa die than accept my help? I won't let that happen. After firmly turning down the sponsor's offer for help, I walked out of the leisure lounge. Then I returned to my room and wait for morning to come. I went outside to hunt for invaders with my usual party and the newly recruited Darumi. We got on the bus and Tsubasa drove us as far out into the wilderness as she could. An abandoned hospital. An art gallery we stumbled upon. In a massive high-rise building. We spent 2 days searching in all kinds of places, but even then...
At ease, soldiers. It's time to hit the hay. You never know when the invaders might attack, so rest up while you still can. Well then.
On the night of day 77, we still hadn't found any invaders, let alone killed them. Damn it. Why aren't there any invaders anywhere? The enemy must have recalled all their troops still loitering around in the vicinity of the school. Probably so that we can't hunt them anymore. What do we do now? Mistress Tsubasa's in last place! I don't want her to die! Just kill me for the points now, please! I already said no to that. What's the point of you dying to keep me alive? Makes me sad like that one more time. Or make me sad like that one more time and I'll never take a bath with you again. They're bathing together? No, wait, don't be distracted by that. Tomorrow's the last day of the 3rd round. If we can't earn enough points by tomorrow, Tsubasa will be executed at midnight. I guess having a rematch with Dulge is the only way out now. Yugamu had quietly made the suggestion. That's super strong, Commander? I didn't even have time to move during that last fight with him. Yeah, but beating him seems like the only way for us to save Tsubasa. I figure we should give it a shot. I have a feeling we might bump into him somewhere in the desert. Taking our chances with a ridiculously powerful enemy rather than sit around doing nothing was just the kind of reckless plan Yugamu would come up with. I suddenly remembered something the sponsor had said before. We were in such a tight spot that taking a major risk was the only way to turn things around. How's this sound? We'll head for the desert first thing tomorrow morning, find Dalja, and take him down. That's the only way, right? Well, fine. Too bad for you, Dalja. That old man popped me like a balloon before. I need to get my revenge. Right. Beating him will get us his crypto globin for escape pod fuel as well. 2 birds with 1 stone. Despite our headstrong proclamations, the grim smiles on our faces betrayed our true feelings. For all our psyching ourselves up deep inside, everyone knew it was virtually impossible for this plan to work. I found myself unable to sleep, even as the clock ticked over from midnight into the new day. Is this really going to work? Once morning came, we would be seeking out the powerful warrior Dalja for battle. Our goal was to earn enough points to pull Tsubasa out of last place. It was the only option we had. Still, we all knew how terrifyingly strong Dalja was from our last battle. None of our attacks could even scratch him back then. Isn't there another way? An easier target to earn a large amount of points from? Suddenly, an image surfaced in my head. The faces of Takamaru and his team. Since everyone in the Special Defense Unit were targets as well, if we killed them, Tsubasa would be safe. No? Because then they wouldn't be able to get last place. Fucking Kuyon. No, what am I even thinking? Shook my head vehemently in an attempt to shake that horrifying thought from my mind. How could I abandon my scruples like that? Am I really that desperate? Trying to solve this by killing other friends was out of the question. I'd be playing right into the sponsor's hands. Come on, think. What are our other options? Something with a high success rate that didn't involve harming our allies and ensured Tsubasa's survival. Tossed and turned in my bed, thinking the problem over all through the night. There had to be a better way to save Tsubasa from certain execution. Before long, morning had arrived. Wait, that's it! As the morning sun lit up my room, a light bulb lit up in my head. I had found a way to save Tsubasa. Not just that, this method would prevent all future deaths in the game as well. I quickly went about getting things ready for my newly hatched plan. Once I was done, Tsubasa and I took the school bus out of the academy together. Is he gonna kill himself? After we reached flat ground, Tsubasa switched the bus to cruise control and came to sit by me. What's this all about, Takumi? You made me drive off in such a hurry. I mean, I don't mind, but shouldn't we have gotten Yugamu and Darmiya as well? They don't have to come along for this. This is our escape. Just you and me. Our escape? Yes. We're running away. From the sponsor and their bees. I looked up at the sky from the window and saw a single bee tailing the bus. That bee was the game monitor, put there to stop the participants from escaping the hunt. It would follow us to the ends of the earth, so running away was pointless. Or so we had been made to think. The truth was... Will that bee really follow us everywhere we go? If we use the bus to cover more ground, maybe we can wear it down eventually. But that bee's physical abilities have been enhanced with hemoanima. It's not going to get tired that easily, right? I have no idea. But it's worth a shot. No one's ever seriously tried running away from the game before. If we do manage to get away safely, you'll be saved. Not only that, but no one else will need to be executed in your place either. Because according to the rules, Only the person in the last place of each round gets executed. Tsubasa kept running away while she was in last place. Nobody would ever be executed again. That was how the game would have to go, according to its own rules. But doesn't that mean we'll never be able to go back to the school? Yeah, but don't worry. I've stocked the bus with more than enough food, water, and fuel to last us for a long, long time. It's not the food I'm worried about. Why are you here with me? Now you can't go back either. Me? Don't sweat it. Just like that? Shouldn't you think this through a little more? What's there to think about? Tsubasa was the most important person in the world to me, so I chose to go with her. It was as simple as that. Takumi, you really are an idiot. She smiled, looking a little exasperated with me. You're so reckless. Or maybe daredevil is a better word in this case. What were you expecting? Love is blind, after all. Love? Cut it out! You sound like some sleazy pickup artist! Tsubasa ran back to the driver's seat with a bright red face. After that, we continued to drive the bus, never stopping once. Tsubasa taught me how to drive so I could take over on roads with fewer obstacles. A few hours after driving around in shifts, I looked out of the window and realized something.
It's gone. It's gone. The bee that's been following us is gone.
Really? It finally gave up?
Yeah, but we can't assume anything yet. We should keep going, just to be sure.
I kept on driving the bus for a few more hours. Eventually, it became dark outside.
I can't see in front of us at all. Are you sure we can't use the headlights?
I don't think that's a good idea. Bugs are drawn to bright lights at night, aren't they?
There are too many obstacles lying around here for us to use cruise control. I guess the safest option is to stop for now.
Yeah. I don't see the bee anywhere. We'll stop here and rest until the sun comes back up.
Oh, this is gonna end poorly. We found a spot behind some ruins where we could park the bus and nap until morning. We huddled together under the same blanket, just like the last time.
Our great escapade went pretty well.
The sponsor must be panicking. Now they can't execute you for being in last place.
The execution had been scheduled to take place at midnight, but it was already long past that time. We'd successfully escaped from the invader hunt.
Oh boy, this is honestly a huge relief. I don't think we could ever have beaten Dal Shah. I was so sure today would be my last day on Earth. I couldn't sleep a wink last night.
You're so silly. I promised I wouldn't let you die, remember? I'll always be there to protect you.
Tomorrow too?
Yes. And the day after, and the day after that. Always.
I kept whispering to Tsubasa that I would protect her forever. It must have made her feel safe, because a few minutes later, she closed her eyes and her breathing started to even out. She was probably tired from the stress and driving all day. I leaned my body against hers and decided to turn in for the night as well. And that was how I fell asleep, with the comforting feel of Tsubasa's warmth next to me. Maybe that was why I had the most beautiful dream that night. A dream I was having a nice peaceful breakfast back home in the Tokyo residential complex. Mom was smiling happily. Karu and I were smiling happily. It was a scene of a time when I was still ignorant, of a place I held dear in my heart. I had a burning desire to take Tsubasa there. I'd promised to do that for her before. If I showed up at home with a girl, even one who wasn't Karuwa, I bet Mom would literally start jumping for joy. She'd cook enough to feed an entire village. So much Tsubasa would feel bad she couldn't eat it all. I would eat surrounded by those I loved. I longed for that day to come. That was my dream now. I wanted to introduce Tsubasa to my family. We could make it come true. I was sure of it now that we had safely escaped from the killing game. Jesus Christ. I no longer had to live in fear that my loved ones might die. Tsubasa and I would always be together, I would always be there to protect her. Today, tomorrow, and forever until the end of time. Yeah, buddy. That shit did not work. Okay. Killing game route, escaping our fate. Alright. So ending 88. Let's see. How far back can we go? Okay, there's where we decide to join the invader hunt. This looks like it's gonna be something. This looks like a separate timeline. It goes up big. I don't know if that's the indicator. So we decided to join the invader hunt, so we did the invader hunt. If we decide not to join the invader hunt, something different happens. So I think deciding not to team up with Yugamu is probably an ending. If it's not, I'll just cut the video here. But if you're still hearing me right now, then it is an ending. So let's go. Just as I thought, there was a large number of invaders inhabiting the nearby city. They roamed around the ruins like zombies with no will of their own. They were all just basic cannon fodder. I could defeat them on my own. I sensed a presence and glanced up in the air to see one of the sponsor's bees were tailing me. I must be here to count my points. Okay, here goes. Stifled my breath and slowly crept up on one of the invaders. Time to attack with everything I've got. I wanted to attack, but my legs froze. I couldn't move. Am I scared? I'd fought on my own plenty of times before. There was a difference between choosing to go it alone and having no alternative. I was going to have to fight alone forever. I was scared of confronting that truth. But I can't just cower forever, can I? Took a deep breath and steeled myself. This time I leapt out in front of the invader. Is there a fight I have to skip here? Okay. Can I not skip it? Alright, I guess I'm just going to do some combat then.
Here we go. This should do it. Say when. That's it. Oh, my turn. Go. Here we go. Take that. My turn. Here! All right, ready when you are. Say when. Not gonna cut it.
Whatever.
Good to go. Take that. My turn. Yeah. Let's do this! Yeah! Got my turn! Keep your guard up! Say when. Take this! Here we go. My turn. There! Oh, say when.
Okay.
Here!
I was already exhausted, even though I only killed off a few minions. I can't come back if I die out here. The lingering fear of death weighed heavily on my mind and body. But I couldn't afford to rest. I had to do whatever it took to get more points, not to mention. Invaders drawn by the sound of fighting were showing up one after the other, and they were beginning to surround me. I prepared to face the next battle with scarcely any time to breathe in between.
Let's do this! That's it! Let's go! Here we go! My turn! Here! Go! Ready when you are! Take this! All good to go! My turn! Not gonna cut it! Ready when you are! Ha! Good to go! Take that! Let's go! Good to go! Keep your guard up! Here we go! Good to go! Say when! Yeah!
No matter how many I kill, more just keep cropping up. Invaders kept streaming in until I was completely surrounded. They were just mooks, but there were too many of them. My stamina was at its limit.
I wish I wasn't alone.
I needed to toughen up, but just telling myself that wasn't doing anything. For the first time, I truly felt how alone I was. At this rate, I'll die without anyone ever knowing. Just then,
I'll help you out, Takumi.
I heard a voice and turned around. Standing there was...
Yugamu! Of course. Showing up uninvited, but sorely needed. It's everybody's beloved Yugamu Omokage. What are you doing here? Were you trying to score some kills out here too? We can talk later. Let's take care of these things first. Our first joint effort.
There was something creepy about how he put it, but I was grateful for him in the moment. Our breaths synced up, and we began to clear up the swarm of invaders. Okay, guess I have to fucking...
Here we go!
Sure.
One last strike!
Time for me to move. This may hurt. Let's get to the killing. Experiment time. I can't wait. Let's get to the killing. Time for me to move. Here it comes. Let's get to the killing. Time for me to move. I can't wait. This may hurt. Let's get to the killing. Time for me to move. Got you covered. I'm good to go.
You know what? Do your worst, little goober.
I'll kill them all. Kill the rest for me.
What you gonna do, huh? Okay.
I can't wait.
Is that all of them? Seems so. I don't sense any trace of them. Well fought, Takumi. You were in quite a predicament considering it's the first day. Couldn't believe it. I was shocked to see that how they just kept coming. I was almost killed by a bunch of weaklings. Fighting truly isn't something to be done alone. Right. I didn't get to properly thank you. You saved me, Yugamu. Thank you. If you hadn't run into me here, I might have been the first to be eliminated from the invader hunt. Oh, no need to thank me. It wasn't by coincidence that we met here. It wasn't? Yes. I've been following you all morning. You had no idea, did you? Tailing people is one of my specialties. Was he just joking to play off his embarrassment? No, that doesn't seem like what's going on here. He really was following me. But it makes sense why he showed up at the perfect time to save me. But why? What was the point of following me? Oh, for the love of murder. Don't be so wary of me, Takumi. I'm not going to eat you, alright? Although you look plenty delicious to me. How could I not be wary of an assassin? Yugamu Omikage, the descendant of a family of assassins. I'll come right out and ask, why were you following me? I was figuring out my timing. I wanted to come gallantly to your rescue if you found yourself in trouble. Then I'd be able to show you how useful I am. Call it a courtship display. Why is everything you say so creepy? Well, that's the long and short of it. He muttered as he held out his right hand to me.
Takumi, would you team up with me?
He's offering to form a team. It was all I ever wanted in my isolation, but why do you want to team up with someone everyone hates? Wouldn't you rather be with Nozomi or Kiyoshika or the others? I don't do well in groups. Honestly, I'd rather enjoy my kills alone, but going in alone is too risky. So I thought buddying up with the odd man out would be just the thing. Is that really the only reason? It made sense, but it's hard to decipher his true intentions. I was sure he was planning something, given that he went out of his way to ask me after I'd been ostracized, but if I turned down his offer, I'd have to hunt alone forever. Well, will you join me or not? What do I do? Should I team up with Yugamu? Ooh, this is alternate reality! mpknife! I fucking hate Yugamu! Woo! I fucking hate Yugamu! Beep boop. Alright, let's see what happens. You deserve a bad ending if you said no to Yugamu, come on. Sorry, I can't team up with you. I was convinced Yugamu had to be plotting something, given that he went out of his way to approach me after I'd been ostracized. The things he usually talked about already made me uneasy. He probably just wanted to torment me for his own amusement. Oh, for the love of murder. You're a cautious one, aren't you, Takumi? Turning me down is as good as having a death wish, you know? Unless you have someone else in mind. No, I'm not going to team up with anyone. I'll survive by myself. So stop following me. With that, I ran away. I ran and ran until I was nearly out of breath, trying to get away from Yugamu as quickly as I could. The thought that he might be trying to kill me struck fear into my heart. But no matter how far I ran, I didn't feel safe. After all, I was up against a professional assassin. I continued to run around with heedless abandon. Where am I? I realized I'd ended up in a place I'd never seen before. Where is this? Which direction is the school? I started looking around at my surroundings. All of a sudden, a huge swarm of school invaders popped out from the shadows. Of all the times to show up. Ugh. Spun around and began to flee. Despite my best efforts, I was unable to shake off the pursuing invaders. They kept coming after me relentlessly, trying to intimidate me with their weird cries the whole time. I'd been running for what felt like hours, but they were still hot on my tail. In fact, there were now even more invaders than before. Then it finally happened. The invaders managed to completely surround me. I saw no way out. The only thing I can do now is fight, but I can't possibly beat this many invaders by myself.
Somebody, help me!
Of course, it was pointless to call for help.
Yugamu, are you out there somewhere?
He wouldn't come help me now. Not after I slapped away his offer to work together so thoughtlessly. Why did I turn down his offer to help? Oh right, because I'd gotten so paranoid. I lost my mind after falling out of favor with everyone else, and took that frustration out on Yugamu. But all he really wanted was to save my life. It was too late for regrets. I was truly alone now. The invaders were getting more and more excited, like animals licking their lips before a big meal. They'd found me isolated from the others, and now they couldn't wait to start tearing me apart. Slowly and steadily they inched closer, and the closer they got, the stronger the smell of death became. My breathing quickened, my body was trembling. I instinctively understood that this was the end. As I looked death in the face, I finally understood how powerless someone who is completely isolated could be. Somebody who had lost the trust of others, who had lost the ability to trust others. Somebody like that was already as good as dead. Okay. Killing game route, as good as dead. Alright. Well, so we did 4 endings today. This short little episode. I might call it like 18.5 or something. But yeah, glad I got those out of the way. I'm getting endings. Mom, I'm getting endings. Yay! We're 1/20th of the way through. Anyways, thanks for watching this bonus episode of the 100 Line Last Defense Academy. Bye, Onara!